Welcome to Swoop Podcast, and here are your hosts, Dante Fantuzzi and Josh Sanchez.
Hey everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed the music. Again, my last segment was about Gordon Hayward's injury, and we're going to stick with basketball here. I'm going to do a little rookie report real quick. My friend John just joined on the show. We're going to talk some Sixers in a little bit as well.
Yeah, buddy.
But as we've seen so far, Ben Simmons made his debut last night. Dennis Smith had a double-double last night, 16 points, 10 assists. Fox from Sacramento, he had a good debut. If no one saw his highlight yet, his dunk he had was just spectacular. Lonzo Ball and the Lakers played tonight. Jason Tatum made his debut against the Cavs, looked pretty solid. And again, that was just your little rookie ladder recap real quick. As of now, Brooks from Memphis, a second-round pick, dropped 19 points last night. He is leading all rookies in points per game. It's early, but that's just a quick little rookie report. So now, John, we're here now. The Sixers lost last night, 120-115. It was a tough loss in my opinion. The refs, the free throw differential was 38-19. You guys can look it up on ESPN. It's right there. The facts are there. So, John, I just want to hear your opinions real quick. What do you think about the Sixers, how they played last night?
I don't think the Sixers were amazing. I think defensively, especially in the paint, they allowed too many golden opportunities for Gortat in that second half. Gortat had, I think, 10 points and 17 rebounds in the game. He had a monster game. So the Sixers, if they want to get better and they want to be contenders, they got to make sure they could box out in the paint. The perimeter defense is there. It's just guarding in the paint they got to worry about. So that's one thing they got to do. To your point about the calls, the officiating in the game, it was a little lopsided. They were seeing the call of, you breathe on John Wall. It was flagrant almost. And then they could literally push Simmons to the ground. Oh, I didn't see anything. So, I mean, that wasn't ideal, obviously. I think the Sixers just were on the bad side of a lot of bounces. I mean, that happens. But I think overall, at the end of the day, they lost by 5 to a team that's supposed to be the second-best team in the conference now with Gordon Hayward's injury, which is a horrible thing, obviously, as you alluded to earlier. I think they're going to be okay. They got a big game tomorrow to regroup in the well against the Celtics, the depleted Celtics team. The fans are going to be crazy. You know the energy is going to be there. The process will be in full effect. And one more thing on this subject real quick. It was incredible being there and hearing all the trust the process chants.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, people, we're in a visitors arena, and I'm watching it on ESPN as well as the Sixers network. I'm just switching channels, and we hear trust the process chants whenever Embiid scores a bucket, when he's in the free throw line. And this is a visitors arena, and there's trust the process chants all over the arena. It just shows the fan support and how many Sixers fans believe in the process. This is like a statement year because we've been in, the last 4 seasons have been, we're going to go for draft picks. That's been the talk since day one. But now we're actually focusing on how we play, how the players develop. And I just have a lot of questions because, hey, everybody, this is Josh Sanchez here on the Swoop radio station. My brother Dante, he can't make it tonight. Because he got called in for a job interview, man. But he's my brother, and here we go. Let's get started. Again, this is a sports talk show, so for these next 2 hours, get ready to listen to some up-to-date sports. So we're going to start with some basketball. For those who watched the Cavaliers-Celtics game, we all know what happened. Gordon Hayward suffered a dislocated ankle and a broken tibia here, and that's just a devastating blow to the Boston Celtics, who signed him from the Utah Jazz, thinking that they're going to have their own form of the big three with Kyrie, Al Horford, and Gordon Hayward. But literally 5 minutes into his debut with the Boston Celtics, Gordon Hayward goes for an alley-oop, bumps into LeBron and Tristan Thompson, lands awkwardly, and you guys know the rest. It was just a devastating blow to a great player who was an all-star last season. He's only 27 years old, putting up over 20 points a game, and he was going to make a statement to this league. For those who do not know me, I've been a believer in the Boston Celtics since day one. I think that they were a top 4 seed in the East, maybe top 3 seed, but now with Gordon Hayward out, I just think right now the Boston Celtics right now, they lost to the Bucks last night because of Giannis Antetokounmpo dropping 37 points. But the Boston Celtics right now, they do not look like a top team in the East. They're young. They have Jaylen Brown. They have Jason Tatum. But again, with young players, they got to just grow and grow up. But again, devastating blow to the Celtics. The Cavaliers squeaked out that game by 3. They won 102-99 for those who do not know the score. But again, a devastating blow to Gordon Hayward. He was an amazing talent and ready to take his next steps to superstardom in the NBA. But again, for those, you can think about Gordon Hayward, check him out. He is, again, one-time All-Star, amazing player. But again, in my opinion, I just think it's a devastating blow for the Celtics. I think I from the beginning, I knew that the Cavaliers were going to make the NBA Finals. Pretty much everyone knew the Cavaliers were going to make the NBA Finals. But I thought the Celtics could at least make it a 6-game, 7-game series. But now, due to Gordon Hayward's injury, I just think the Cavaliers now just got an easy cakewalk to the finals. And LeBron will probably make his 8th consecutive finals appearance, which is a huge accomplishment for an all-time great. But this next segment, we're going to talk a little bit about basketball. Just started off with Gordon Hayward. Now we're going to do a little around the league action for the next couple minutes. We have the Houston Rockets later that game stun the Golden State Warriors. They won by 1 point, 118-117, or I'll double check the score. But Kevin Durant hit what we thought was the buzzer beater, but the ball was just in his hands as the game clock went away. And what a tough way to lose your season. They blow a 17-point lead. Draymond Green goes down with a knee sprain. He's out a couple weeks. But you already know, come April, May, the Warriors will most likely be in the NBA Finals. In my opinion, they showed explosiveness ever since they signed Nick Young, Swaggy P. He adds like a J.R. Smith effect to the Golden State Warriors. And in my opinion, I think they're a more scarier team now with Nick Young, because now you have that person coming off of the bench and can hit 4 or 5 3-pointers in a game when Steph, Clay, and Durant and Draymond are not on the floor, or when only one of those guys is on the floor. Now you have a great shooter that can come off the bench. The Golden State Warriors, in my opinion, got better in the offseason as well. Just like the Cleveland Cavaliers. They may have lost Kyrie Irving, but they also add Isaiah Thomas. He didn't play opening night. I hope he gets better soon. He is one of the most undervalued, most unappreciative players in this game. And for those who do not know Isaiah Thomas, just watch the Cavaliers this season and when he plays. He is a great talent, 5'8", 5'9". You know, the NBA always gives you 2 inches as well. That's what they always do with the heights. Just one of the best pound-for-pound guards in the game today. Big shout-out to Isaiah Thomas. And the Rockets are 2-0. They have Chris Paul, James Harden. It's just a shame that Carmelo Anthony went to the Thunder instead of the Rockets, and what the Rockets could have been with Carmelo Anthony on the floor. But just watching that game, Chris Paul had a plus-minus of 0. James Harden looks like he's going to get the ball most of the time out of the two between Chris Paul and James Harden. But once the season progresses, I believe that Chris Paul is going to get the ball more and take the less pressure on James Harden. And I think James Harden will show up in the clutch more than he did last year, because we remember that Game 6 performance against the Spurs Like, have you seen this man, James Harden? Like, he was just completely gone. I don't know what happened the game before. But now with Chris Paul, he has less pressure, but I just think they just don't have enough to beat the Golden State Warriors. They may have beaten them opening night, but as the season progresses, we'll see the Warriors regain their form and stuff like that. So next, I'm going to take a quick little break here. I'm going to do a little rookie wire next. So enjoy to the music, and you are listening to Swoop Radio with Josh and Dante. Hey everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed the music. Again, my last segment was about Gordon Hayward's injury, and we're going to stick with basketball here. I'm going to do a little rookie report real quick. My friend John just joined on the show. We're going to talk some Sixers in a little bit as well.
Yeah, buddy.
But as we've seen so far, Ben Simmons made his debut last night. Dennis Smith had a double-double last night, 16 points, 10 assists. Fox from Sacramento, he had a good debut. If no one saw his highlight yet, his dunk he had was just spectacular. Lonzo Ball and the Lakers played tonight. Jason Tatum made his debut against the Cavs, looked pretty solid. And again, that was just your little rookie ladder recap real quick. As of now, Brooks from Memphis, a second-round pick, dropped 19 points last night. He is leading all rookies in points per game. It's early, but that's just a quick little rookie report. So now, John, we're here now. The Sixers lost last night, 120 to 115. It was a tough loss in my opinion. The refs, the free throw differential was 38 to 19. You guys can look it up on ESPN. It's right there. The facts are there. So John, I just want to hear your opinions real quick. What do you think about the Sixers, how they played last night?
I don't think the Sixers were amazing. I think defensively, especially in the paint, they allowed too many golden opportunities for Gortat in that second half. Gortat had, I think, 10 points and 17 rebounds in the game. He had a monster game. So the Sixers, if they want to get better and they want to be contenders, they got to make sure they could box out in the paint. And the perimeter defense is there. It's just guarding in the paint they got to worry about. So that's one thing they got to do. To your point about the calls, the officiating in the game, it was a little lopsided. They were seeing the call of, you breathe on John Wall. It was flagrant almost. And then they could literally push Simmons to the ground. Oh, I didn't see anything. So, I mean, that wasn't ideal, obviously. I think the Sixers just were on the bad side of a lot of bounces. I mean, that happens. But I think overall, at the end of the day, they lost by 5 to a team that's supposed to be the second best team in the conference now with Gordon Hayward's injury, which is a horrible thing, obviously, as you alluded to earlier. I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to be okay. They got a big game tomorrow to regroup in the well against the Celtics, a depleted Celtics team. The fans are going to be crazy. You know the energy is going to be there. The process will be in full effect. And one more thing on this subject real quick. It was incredible being there and hearing all the trust the process chants.
Yeah, I know. We have people, we're in a visitor's arena, and I'm watching it on ESPN as well as the Sixers network. I'm just switching channels, and we hear trust the process chants whenever Embiid scores a bucket, when he's in the free throw line. And this is a visitor's arena, and there's trust the process chants all over the arena. It just shows the fan support and how many Sixers fans believe in the process. This is like a statement year because we've been in, the last 4 seasons have been, we're going to go for draft picks. That's been the talk since day one. But now we're actually focusing on how we play, how the players develop. And I just have a lot of questions because I was on Twitter checking social media. A lot of people were considering Fultz a bust. And it's only the first game of the season. He's coming off of the bench. He's had shoulder injury. He still puts up 10 points. And you just got to let this kid play out. To the fans that think Fultz is a bust, you got to realize we drafted Markelle Fultz because of need. We don't need a guy. His main responsibility, he doesn't need to run the offense like that. That's why we have Ben Simmons. And Joel Embiid's more of a scorer. He can be that third option, second option scorer when he gets hot. And that's what we drafted him for. And that's just a lot. people just calm down, slow down. Markelle Fultz, it's only his first game. He still dropped 10 points. He does need to work on his free throw, though. That's one thing he does have to work on.
Definitely.
But slow down on the Markelle Fultz bust.
It is comical that people feel that way. It's been one game. And he scored double-digit figures. He scored 10 points on 5 of 9 shooting.
Yes.
That kid was driving to the basket like somebody that's been in the league for 5 years. He had this one kickback pass to, I think, Bayless. Bayless happened to shank the shot, but the pass was brilliant. And Fultz did what he needs to do if his three-point shot isn't working. And that is drive to the basket, bring the men into the paint, and kick the ball back out. You had a guy wide open. That play couldn't have been drawn back. I swear, if you look in the easel of Brett Brown, and you see that exact play, it looks like a Picasso in there. I'm telling you, that exact same play is drawn out, and it just wasn't executed perfectly by the shooter. But that's not Fultz's fault.
I know.
Like, Fultz had, 3 assists on the game? Could have had 4 if that shot was made. 10 and 4 off the bench?
I know.
And you're calling him
solid.
A bust? What do you call Okafor? Kid didn't even see the court. That's the other thing that was kind of weird to me. The Sixers only played 10 people.
I know.
In the game.
And that's one of the problems I have with the game. Like, Amir Johnson, from what I saw, he's a solid, bench player. He can get you rebounds. He's just a dunk flyer type of player. He's not a guy that's going to post up and do spin moves and do sky hooks and stuff like that. We saw it last night. He tried to do a sky hook. Gortat's literally just standing there with his hands up, not even touching him, and Amir Johnson's just throwing air balls from the sky hook and stuff like that. I think Okafor could have used some minutes around that time period, because if you saw Amir Johnson not getting it done, Okafor lost 15 pounds. He's had a good preseason. I would have given him the chance to play at least 5-10 minutes during that stretch in the third quarter when the Wizards were starting to pull away, but we ended up climbing back in the fourth quarter. But I would have just used Okafor a little bit in that one because he's lost the weight. He's put in the work in the offseason. I think you got to give this guy just a little bit more minutes.
Yeah, and I think that this would have been a perfect matchup for him because Gortat's not the most athletic guy either, and we know Okafor, he's not either. I think it would have been a good matchup. Amir Johnson did end up getting pretty badly into foul trouble.
Yeah.
He didn't look horrible, but he's definitely that old-fashioned kind of center.
And I'm sorry to interrupt, but that 6th foul he had, where was the foul in that? He said a normal screen.
They were, like I said earlier, they were looking at them the wrong way. It was a flagrant. So, I mean, you can't get too upset. I would have liked to see Furkan come in for a little bit.
Yeah.
Stauskas didn't play either. Okafor didn't play. Who else didn't play in the game? I can't think of off the top of my head. There's a couple guys that didn't suit up in the game. I would have liked. I mean, I guess it was a close game. Maybe if it was a blowout one way or the other, everybody would have got their minutes. But it's interesting to see how this rotation is going to fill out because unlike previous years, this is a deep team all around.
I know.
Saric is the man. He did not play that well. Saric had a rough game. He had 3 points and 3 boards in, I think, 18 minutes of game time. And, he needs to be better off the bench because he's going to be depended on in that second unit.
Okay, and I'm looking it up now. Here's the people who did not play last night. Rashad Holmes, but he had an injury. He's hurt. McAddo, Okafor, Pullen, Justin Anderson, and Nick Stauskas.
Anderson. That's who I was thinking. I think Anderson would have been a good play for last night because he brings that defensive. He brings that defensive energy to your game, and for a lot of the time, when the Wizards kept having those crazy, crazy dunks on the Sixers in that second half, I would have put Anderson in because then you got the thing with Anderson and the reason he's on this team. On top of the defensive aspect of his game and the fact that he has gotten a lot better with three-point shooting in the preseason, the reason you have him on your team is he's a momentum killer and a momentum builder. He is the type of guy he brings the energy on every single run down the court, and those guys are invaluable to chemistry on the bench and in the locker room. I think getting him some time in the game would have benefited the Sixers a little bit, especially in the third quarter when they started to go on a little bit of a skid there.
Yes.
They did a good job of rebounding and bouncing back in the game. Robert Covington was fantastic.
I know, yeah.
last night.
He went 7 of 11 from 3 and had 29 points. He led all scorers in points. And people were impressive with John Wall's play. John Wall was impressive, but
he was very good.
But if you look at his stat line, he was 10 of 28. The Sixers made it tough for him to score a lot of baskets. Yeah, he had his dunks and his John Wall moments, but he shot 10 of 28. And same with Bradley Beal. They both had all shooting nights. Our defense was, in my opinion, was decent. But yeah, if we would have added a Justin Anderson in the third quarter as well as Okafor, we could have had, the outcome could have been different a little bit. But we all know what happened. It came down to the last couple minutes. It came down to Bayless. He had Ben Simmons wide open in a drive to the paint. Just the ball got deflected. Unfortunate. Just like you said, the bounces just didn't go our way. And then we get another turnover. Covington's trying to pass it to Bayless. He's open in the corner. Another deflection. The bounces just didn't go our way in last night's game. But again, I'm excited for this team. I can't wait for what the season holds for us. The Celtics look depleted. Like you said, they are, I talked about earlier in the show, Hayward's out. You lose that star player. Now, they do have a next man up mentality, but Jaylen Brown's only a second-year player. Jason Tatum's a rookie. They're going to be great players when they grow up.
Yes.
But as for right here in the moment, you can tell that they don't have the experience. That might hurt them.
I will say this, though, about the Celtics. Obviously, it stinks to lose Gordon Hayward. He was your max contract signing in the offseason. One of the reasons that this team is viewed as a contender. On the other side of the coin, though, small forward is your deepest position. And so, I mean, at the very least, if you're going to lose him for an extended period of time, at least you have Jaylen Brown. You have Jason Tatum. You have guys that could step in. I mean, Brown looked phenomenal in the preseason and Summer League, and he had some flashes last year. Tatum is supposed to be a guy who could just come in and score right off the bat. He has an NBA-ready three-point shot, which is huge on that kind of a team. So, I mean, we'll see. The jury's still out. Big game tomorrow night at the Well against the Celtics, Sixers-Celtics, 7 p.m. It should be a good time. I'm expecting the Sixers to bounce back and win here.
Yes, I'm expecting
send those
to win.
Celtics into the cellar, 0-2.
0-3.
0-3.
Yeah.
Oh, can I have 1 minute to rant about Marcus Smart real
Yeah,
quick?
you got it, man.
Marcus Smart had 1 for 7 shooting and sunk my fantasy team yesterday. Sunk it. And now I'm wondering, why on God's green earth do I have this guy on my team? So, Marcus Smart, welcome to Dumpsville.
Dumpsville. All right. John, anything else you want to talk about, or are you ready to wrap up this segment?
Let's wrap it up, man. Trust the process.
All right, trust the process. And again, we'll be back after a couple songs, so I hope you guys enjoy. Hey, everybody. Swoop Radio is back. But before I get on to my next topic, I'm going to talk. Now it's time for a Cabrini Live Reach Out. In the wake of a hurricane, everyone wants help. When donating goods, it's hard to know what's most needed. Monetary donations are the most effective way to support those in need. Aid workers can spend donations locally to strengthen the community, provide items that are needed most, and help save lives. In the aftermath of a hurricane, monetary donations are the best ways to make a big difference. Donate today at supporthurricanerelief.org. That's supporthurricanerelief.org. This message has been brought to you by WYBF Cavalier Radio. Hey everyone, this is Josh again on Swoop Radio. I'm here with my classmate from ECG, James. We're going to talk a little football. He's a diehard New England Patriots fan.
Yep.
They're not as dominant this year as much.
No, they're not. They're 4-2. It's just honestly, I think it's our defense that's just not doing too hot, but hopefully we can get back to it, I don't know.
Man, no, it's all good. I mean, how do you feel about, where your offense has been so far? They have Brandon Cooks. They've had injuries with Edelman. Edelman goes down. Amendola has been a little banged up. Hogan was just off of the Jets game last week.
Yeah, Gronk is glass.
And now Gronk is back. And the defense just hasn't been as like dominant this year as it usually is. Like, like when you think of a Bill Belichick defense, you think of the best option is taken out every game, but we haven't really seen it this year. But as a Patriots fan, do you still think you guys are going to win a Super Bowl this year?
I honestly think so. We still can. With the offense, it's all about finding that chemistry with Cooks and Brady. With Brady and Gronk, they have good chemistry, but Gronk is always getting injured, and Brady's go-to guy was also Julian Edelman, and Julian Edelman, of course, is out for the season, which it's kind of upsetting, But we have a lot of young talent in a defense. Rob Ninkovich, he's gone, so he's retired.
Yeah, so you can tell that you guys miss like a lot of those pieces that you had last year. Hightower has been banged up.
Yeah, so he's not playing too good. I don't know. We don't have Chris Long anymore. He's with the Eagles now. Lucky for them, they're 5-1. Anyway,
fly Eagles, fly, man.
Right. So we have a lot of young talent coming in. So it's all about finding the chemistry with each other and stuff. But it's gonna be definitely a tough week. Next week, actually. We're going to take on the Atlanta Falcons, and they've been good. So,
well, yeah, they're decent for the most part, but you can tell just last week against the Dolphins they blew a 17-0 lead. I just find it ironic how coming into this game, we have a Falcons team that just blew a 17-point lead, and then we have a New England Patriots team that came back from 14-0 last week against the Jets. So it's like story time again. We have the Patriots who came back from a deflect, and the Falcons who just blew another lead. So again, that's on prime time, 8:30 NBC. Again, mark your calendars. It's going to be a great game.
Yeah, I'll be watching it. I'll definitely be watching it.
So are you ready to do a quick little week 6 recap, like the standouts and stuff like that? I'm going to run the scores. You can just give me your opinion.
Okay.
So it's starting off with Thursday Night Football. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the Carolina Panthers 28-23. How do you feel about them birds so far, the Eagles?
Wow. The Eagles, even though I'm not a fan of the Eagles, I think they're doing a really great job. They weren't really favored to do well. It was all about the Cowboys and, feed me Zeke and Dak Prescott.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, they're not doing so hot. The Cowboys, man, I don't know. I thought they were going to do well. They're not doing too hot this season. Eagles, yeah, I'm pretty proud of them. Hopefully they don't blow it for the next few weeks.
They don't blow another lead.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big Eagles fan, but like when teams are good, I'm gonna give them the credit.
Right.
Like Dallas's offense, in my opinion, is a very scary offense.
Right.
But we now see with Ezekiel Elliott what's happened with him. The court just filed a restraining order, so Ezekiel Elliott is eligible to play. My fault, for the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
So after October 30th, they're gonna do another hearing, and then maybe they'll see if the suspension comes. So I believe Ezekiel Elliott probably will not even get suspended this season.
Right.
Just real quick, do you have any opinions with that, or do you?
No, I really don't have too much about it. I just think the reason why that Cowboys are not doing so hot is because I think Zeke is worried about all that's going on, the suspension and stuff. So that could play a huge, play a key factor. But, there's no excuses or nothing for them playing pretty bad. Yeah.
But I know, as a New England Patriots fan, we're going to stick with the AFC right now.
AFC?
Yeah. How do you think the AFC's looking right now? Right now, you got New England 4-2. They've not looked like the strongest team. But again, they find a way to scrap. They find a way to just get wins.
Right.
That's just one thing New England knows how to do ever since Brady and Belichick have come to power. The Patriots they may not look like the best team every week, but they just find a way to win games. And you got the Chiefs right now just losing to the Steelers.
Yeah.
They're now 5-1. You have Big Ben and the Steelers Ben Roethlisberger throws 5 picks. If it wasn't for that miracle catch by Antonio Brown that gets deflected by the corner,
Right.
we might be talking about Big Ben throwing 2 other picks and costing the Steelers another game.
Right.
So how do you feel about New England's chances this year, even though the team is still a little...
Well, I think their chances is still good, pretty decent. Just do your job. That's what Belichick always says: do your job and take one step at a time, one game at a time. So with the one game for the Atlanta Falcons, I just think that the defense definitely got to stop the running game. The running game is ridiculous, and of course you got to stop the quarterback as well. He's really good, Matt Ryan. So it's just all about this. Before I just finding that chemistry, with each other.
Yeah,
Brady to Cooks, Brady to Gronk, just if he's not injured. So yeah,
that's good. I mean, again, and you saw the connection last week with the Gronk's 2 TDs,
right?
But now, obviously, I think you're gonna go in a different direction. But did you see that Jets tight end play where Stefan Janikowski, he went past the goal line, he fumbled it a little bit, but then he regained the fumble, and they marked it as he fumbled the ball, touchback, New England ball, instead of it being a touchdown. I just want to know, how do you feel about that one?
Honestly, I mean, I'm a Patriots fan. I'm not bashing on my boys, but I think that should have been,
should have been a touchdown.
Yeah, but it is what it is. It's all about the referees, I guess. I don't even have anything to say about that.
Now, all right. Now, last question before we go to a quick little break here. How do you feel about that Super Bowl win last year? I know it's still on your mind. Every Patriots fan. I still have Patriots fans come up to me and say, man, that Super Bowl was just amazing. We've literally won 5 championships in an era, which has just been flat out amazing. I just want to know before we wrap up, how do you feel about that Super Bowl win?
I feel about
the Super Bowl wins in general.
I mean, from this particular Super Bowl, well, the past 2 with the Seahawks and then the one with the Atlanta Falcons. First off, with the Seahawks, that Marshawn Lynch should have ran the ball. They should have gave the ball to Lynch, and then they paid the consequence. I thought the Seahawks were going to win that one, so I was like, okay, well at least we made it to the Super Bowl. But we won. I'm really proud of them, and they didn't give up. And as for the Falcons, I really thought we lost the game. I still watched it. I was like, okay, we lost, and Brady's still the GOAT. But after what I seen, that Julian Edelman catch, that was unbelievable.
Oh yeah, the one where he juggled it.
Yeah. I still
exactly
think about that.
About.
I just missed that, man. I miss Julian Edelman, but yeah, man. I'm still shocked. That's one of the greatest Super Bowls of all time. Honestly, it was the first Super Bowl that actually went through overtime. So that was the first Super Bowl. So that's history, man.
History in the making.
Right. And Brady, he's the greatest of all time, hands down.
We already know he's the GOAT. All right. Oh, my fault. I said last question, but you just brought up this GOAT conversation. I'm sorry. You brought up this GOAT conversation. And people talk about that bad man Rodgers being the most talented quarterback to ever play the game.
Man. He's a great comeback guy. I'll tell you what, because he be throwing them Hail Marys. But I think he's a pretty decent quarterback. I just
pretty decent.
Yeah, it sucks that he's out for the season now, but he's definitely top 5. But I don't think he's better than Brady or Peyton Manning at that. I think Peyton Manning's second. No. I think it's Brady, Brett Favre,
Montana. You got to give Joe Montana some love.
Man, I totally forgot about Montana.
You got to give Montana some love.
Montana, yeah, okay. I got to give Montana some credit,
It's all good though. You don't have to make a list yet. That question just kind of just went on my mind.
Right.
So
totally forgot about him.
But yeah, anything else you want to talk about? Are you ready to take a quick little break?
That's all I had to say about the Patriots. Hopefully, they'll do well this Sunday, or at least have a close game. I don't want no blowout. So.
All right, we'll be back after a couple songs, so I hope you guys enjoy. Now let's take a look at the WYBF community calendar. What the world needs now is you. Help to build the bridges of intercultural understanding by sharing your home and daily life with an AFS high school exchange student or teacher. Hosting is exciting and rewarding. The AFS community has students and teachers arriving year-round. If you're ready to build a bridge, check them out online at www.afsusa.org. That's afsusa.org, or call 1-800-AFS-info. The WYBF community calendar keeps you informed. Now, before I get started on my next topic, we're going to do a little weather update. In the Radnor community, it is 72 degrees outside, sunny. Tonight will be a low of 58 degrees. Tomorrow's Friday, of course. The high is going to be 70. The low is going to be 48. So before I talk about the Eagles, I just want to have a quick little Week 6 recap and talk a little bit about like the biggest winners and losers of Week 6. Obviously, the Eagles are a winner, of course, with their big win in Carolina against the 4-1 Carolina Panthers. They neutralized Cam Newton from the start. He threw 3 interceptions. You can tell he was just gassed. But I think the biggest loser of Week 6 has to be the Atlanta Falcons. You're up 17-0 against a Miami Dolphins team that's been derailed with their coaches doing stuff that's illegal, with them getting shut out in London, and they come into Atlanta and just beat a very good Atlanta Falcons team. I think the Atlanta Falcons are one of the best teams in the NFC, but they just haven't shown it right now. And another huge loss for this week was Aaron Rodgers. It was just confirmed by ESPN earlier the week that he's going to have surgery on his broken collarbone. So that's just a major loss for the Green Bay Packers. Rodgers is most likely out for the season. And people say, in 2013 he broke his collarbone, but it was a clean break. The difference between a clean break and a messed up break is a messed up break, you're going to have surgery for it. And Rodgers is not fortunate this time. So now he's going to have to deal with surgery, and the Packers are going to have to find a way to win without their star in Aaron Rodgers. We all saw from Dallas how great of a player he is. In my opinion, Brady may be the greatest quarterback of all time due to accolades and Super Bowl wins and MVPs, but based off of talent alone, Aaron Rodgers is probably the best quarterback we have ever seen in our generation. The way how he can just roll out of the pocket and just throw it 50 yards and right on a dime to Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb and Devontae Adams. It's just the way how he is just so fluent and so smooth, the way how he runs quarterback. We have never seen that before in the history of the NFL. So I apologize to your Joe Montana fans saying that, what about Joe Montana and stuff like that. Joe Montana was amazing. But I'm just talking about talent alone. Rodgers can run and can also throw the ball on the run, 50 yards, perfect strike. Where Tom Brady, he's not a mobile quarterback. Brady's pocket awareness is amazing. But Brady cannot roll to his left, throw it 50, 60 yards on a perfect dime. Aaron Rodgers can do that. We saw it. All I got to do is pull up the Dallas highlight in the playoffs. It's 3rd down and 20. There's less than 20 seconds left on the clock. You have no timeouts. You need to literally throw the ball in the sidelines perfectly and just enough so your kicker can get in field goal range. You're outside of field goal range. 3rd and 20. Rodgers goes to his left, rolls out to his left, throws it on the run. And just think about it. Rodgers is a right-handed quarterback. So they usually go to their right on a rollout. Rodgers went to his left. And he rolls out, throws a strike 50 yards to Jared Cook, catches it, less than 10 seconds left on the clock after the catch. Literally the perfect play. You get the first down, you're in field goal range, and you win the game in the final seconds. That is just vintage Rodgers right there. That just shows you how talented Rodgers is. And Tom Brady, he obviously is the GOAT. He's won 5 rings, most ever by a quarterback. He's been to the most Super Bowls, most postseason wins. He broke the regular season record for most wins by a quarterback. With now he has 187. So he passed Peyton Manning and I believe Joe Montana, yes, for the most regular season wins in NFL history. And he also has the most combined postseason and regular season wins by any other player in NFL history, which is just amazing. His achievements just stand out. He's like the Michael Jordan in the NFL, well, quarterback-wise. And before I just wrap up this quick topic, because next topic we're going to talk about the birds, to my viewers listening, I want you to think about Rodgers and Brady as the LeBron and Michael Jordan talk, where Jordan has the rings, he has the 6 rings, he has the MVPs, 5 MVPs. Jordan never went to a Game 7 in his NBA Finals history. He has the most wins in Finals history. Michael Jordan just has the achievements. LeBron may be the most talented player. The way out, no one 6'9" can pass the rock like LeBron can. No one can dominate a game like LeBron can. But when it matters most, you look at achievements and accolades and all this stuff, and Michael Jordan just has it, just like how Tom Brady has it. People argue about Rodgers same way they argue with LeBron, but the people that favor Michael Jordan and Tom Brady, they will always throw at you postseason success. Rodgers is 10-7 in his career in the postseason, and his most heartbreaking loss was when the Packers were 15-1, and they were riding high. They had the first round bye. And guess who comes into Green Bay? The New York Giants come in and upset the Green Bay Packers. And those postseason losses just hurt Rodgers' legacy when you compare him to Tom Brady. The exact same with LeBron James. LeBron James, you lose, you're in the big 3 in Miami. You have Dwayne Wade. You have the talent around you. The Mavericks only have Dirk Nowitzki, an old Jason Kidd, and Tyson Chandler. And the Jet, Jason Terry. And LeBron and his team get upsetted in one of LeBron's worst finals performances in his career. And those losses hurt you when you compare yourselves to the GOAT. So those two players may be more talented than Michael Jordan and Tom Brady, but come on now. You got to go with postseason success and stuff like that. So that's going to conclude my quick little segment here. The next segment, we're going to talk about the birds, so I hope you guys enjoy and listen to some music. Hey, everybody, we're back. I hope you guys enjoyed the music. I'm here with my friend Vaughn from last week, and we're ready to talk some birds. It's our little Eagles segment now. The Eagles coming off of a great win, winning 28-23 against the Carolina Panthers. Both teams were 4-1 coming in. A lot of people had the Eagles losing this week, again, because it was a short week and taking a trip to Carolina. But the Eagles silenced the haters and went into Carolina and won a very hard-fought game. So, real quick, Vaughn, anything that stood out to you from the game? Or?
Man, first, before we start off, I just want to say shout out to all the breast cancer supporters out there. It's a big moment for me. My grandma had breast cancer, so she's listening right now. I told her I'll shout her out. And, yeah, I told y'all we was going to win. I told you. People didn't believe in the birds, but I told you. The thing that stood out to me was the defense. Fletcher Cox came back and had one hell of a game. He dominated everything. Fletcher Cox had one heck of a game. He's the best. I want to say the best lineman, the defensive lineman in the league. Me personally, he's the best defensive lineman in the league.
Yeah, and he's really had a great season so far. He's been out a couple weeks, but you can tell him coming right back and getting right in Cam Newton's face, forcing that interception earlier in the game.
What was it?
It was Douglas.
Yeah, it was the second quarter. He came back and made a statement that the Eagles are for real. This isn't no joke. This isn't no. Last year, they are for real. And Doug Peterson even said it. He was like, this is a whole different team than last year. Just the way they finish games now that we got LeGarrette Blount, the way that the offense is running, the way that Wentz is so more comfortable. You see him scrambling. You see him throwing. And the man that couldn't catch a brick last year, Nelson Aguilar, stepping up. So they're for real this year, and I'm excited to see where they go the next couple of weeks with these home games. We got Washington on Monday. That's going to be a tough challenge because division rivalry is always tough. But I'm excited to see where they go.
And and again, I'm just really excited with this team and how they're all gelling. Like sort of like how like the Cowboys were last year. Like you can just tell like every game it didn't matter who they played. Their offense was just connecting. Their defense would make just enough plays
to get a stop.
Yeah, and like they'll just make the stop, and then their offense would just keep clicking and clicking. And that's what I see in this Philadelphia Eagles team. A lot of, like how the Cowboys were last year, like our offense is clicking. Aguilar, like you said, was dropping passes last year. Now he has 4 touchdowns already.
Change of number.
Changing number, changing attitude. He also had a new girlfriend, too. She's blonde. Like, just a new life for Nelson Aguilar. And he's snapping.
Whatever he did in the summertime, I'm happy.
I know, I'm happy, too. The defense is stepping up. We don't even have Rasul Douglas, who I just had an ESPN update. He is practicing this week, so he might play either this week or next week. So,
but see, that's the thing with a new corner coming in. I'm afraid because the defense is gelling now. Like last year when our lineman went out for the drug testing.
Lane Johnson.
Lane Johnson. Yeah. The whole line was different because it was a different face. That first unit is used to running plays with the first unit. They're used to signals, but it's going to be tough with Douglas coming back. But we'll see because it's a big adjustment from who was playing this position to him. So it'll be different, but I'm excited. The Eagles, man, are for real. So watch out.
I know. Watch out. Watch out indeed. And here's another thing that shocked me, too. We didn't have Lane Johnson in the game either. Lane Johnson was in concussion protocol.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So we go into Carolina, don't even have our best lineman on the field, and we still come out, score 28 points. Defense makes turnovers. Wentz makes the right play. Doesn't turn the ball over, besides the fumble in the beginning of the game.
See, that's his biggest thing. Wentz, my big problem with Carson Wentz is turnovers. He's turnover prone. It happens. It happens to the best of them, but his biggest thing is turnovers, and that's going to get us over that edge, him not turning the ball over.
Yeah.
Our defense can get enough turnovers. Our defense fly around. Our linebackers are, I think, one of the best in the league.
They've proven it. We're second in the league in fewest rushing yards per game.
Yeah, that's the line. That starts with the defensive line and that wide 9 technique. So they can't run outside. So they got to run in the middle. And when they run in the middle, them boys, Fletcher Cox, I'm proud of the Eagles, man. I don't even know what to say. I just want to sing the song.
Nigel Bradham was all over the place against the Eagles. I believe he had over 15 tackles. I'm going to fact check it right now. Kendricks had 17. Bradham had 10.
Yeah.
So our linebackers were flying all over the field last
But that's
week.
how they have to be with Cam. They have to contain Cam in the pocket, which they did.
For the most part.
And then they have to worry about Carolina. They have to worry about Carolina's receivers. But if you think about it, Fletcher Cox and them didn't give them time to get down the field and do what they had to do because if you look at the game, they were constantly in Cam Newton's face over and over again. I swear, every possession it was like Cam Newton was under pressure.
Yeah, and this defense, it's just scary because again, Douglas has not been playing these past couple weeks, and Sidney Jones, and he's not even playing either. We have guys.
When is he coming back? Like 2 weeks?
No, he tore his Achilles, so I think he's going to be out till like December, and that comes another question that the Eagles are going to have. When Sidney Jones comes back, he's a rookie. He's going to be the future. Do you play him?
I think you just keep him out
and get him in the mix for like the postseason and stuff like that, or do you just sit him out? Redshirt him his freshman year and then have him come back.
I think you sit him out
his sophomore season.
Because the way that defense is rolling with the rotations in and out, everybody know. Like the Eagles right now, they know their position. They're like the Golden State Warriors to me in the NFC because everybody on the field knows what they have to do. Like Malcolm Jenkins know his role on that field. It's like Golden State, everybody know their roles on the team. The Eagles know what they have to do. Everybody on the field knows their role. So bringing that rookie in, I feel like it's just going to mess up I don't feel like he's going to mess up everything. I just feel like he's not going to be able to adjust on the fly with 2 games to go in the season or whatever he comes back. He needs more time than that. It's like, I just feel like they should just keep him out, let him come back next year, and then we go at it again.
I know. And this team, they're just like ahead of schedule right now because, in my opinion, coming into the season, I thought we were like a 9-7, 10-6 team, and we are just ahead of schedule. People thought the Giants were going to do something, even though they did win in Denver this week. They had a good win.
Without Odell, which is funny.
Without Odell, Brandon Marshall, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie.
Which is funny.
So, but everyone thought the Giants were going to be 11-5. They already have 5 losses now, so it's crazy to think.
I told everybody we were going. I told everybody we were going undefeated because, I'm just die Philly fan. But then after that, I said we only losing 1 game. And the team we lost to, we could have beat Kansas City. But, we moving on from it. And they learning from it. And I'm excited for these next 3 home games. I'm going to the one on Monday, so I'll be there.
Oh, man. So you're gonna be at the Link Monday night.
I'm at Wells Fargo tomorrow and the Link on Monday night. It's going to be a weekend for me.
And that just comes to question, like the Philly sports right now, a lot of teams are on the rise. Like we've had like these couple past like 4 or 5 years of just disappointments. Sixers, like what one thing I liked about the Sixers was they were just honest with us from the beginning. They were just like,
listen, we're
rebuilding, yeah. Whereas the Eagles, we had that 1 year with Chip Kelly where we went 10-6, made the wild card round and lost to the Saints because our defense just wasn't strong enough.
Trust the process.
Yes.
Philly.
And then the Phillies, they had their good run in 08 from 07 to 11, but then now they're in a rebuild and they're on the come up now. They have some guys. And now the Sixers looked like a playoff team last night.
They did. This is one thing that struggles with me is our bench, but if Joel restriction gets lifted,
minute restriction,
they would be a different team. But the team that y'all might laugh listening in right now. The best team in Philly to me is the Philadelphia Soul.
Philadelphia Soul.
Yeah. They won like 4 championships in the last 5 years. That's another topic. That's our best football team right now.
Yeah, I know.
I'm excited
won
about
2 Arena Bowls.
2 Arena Bowls. Yeah, but I'm excited about the Eagles. This weekend will be a good test for us. Coming home facing Washington, another primetime game. Under the lights. They're a division rival to me. It'll be tough for us, but I think we'll get the job done.
Yeah. I think the Eagles are going to get the job done on Monday night. I just think right now everything's clicking. I understand Washington has always had our number recently, but that big Week 1 win that we had, like a lot of people said the Eagles kind of blew it out of proportion because they dumped Gatorade on Doug Peterson and acted like we just won like a Super Bowl or something like that.
But that's a big win for us coming into Washington because we knew we had them in our backyard the next time we played them. Then we had the Giants and we beat them. So now we just got to face this Dallas team that I'm not surprised with. I'm kind of surprised that Zeke is not going to serve his suspension.
Yeah, I know that was just another breaking news earlier this week. But they said that they're going to get another court appealing on October 30th.
In New York.
Yeah.
But it kind of just sends a message all over the world, the things that he's done. He's a professional athlete. Kids look up to him. People look up to him. And then he's really just getting away with it right now, in my opinion. But the Cowboys, they're not the team they were last year, and I feel like we can run through them too.
Yeah, their defense is just not as strong. What I see like with the Dallas Cowboys this year is sort of like how like the Eagles were when we were with Chip Kelly. Like the offense was solid, but the defense just couldn't get that key stop, and they couldn't make those key plays to change the outcome of the game. And their defense would play good against like bad teams, but when they're up against Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, other elite quarterbacks, the elite quarterbacks would just show how bad that defense is. And that's how I feel the Cowboys are right now. Their offense is good enough to make the postseason. It's just on the defensive side of the ball, you have all these rookies starting. You have all these young guys. They just released Nolan Carroll.
Yeah. Eagles finest.
But yeah, that's just what I see with Dallas right now.
But we're excited. I cannot lie. I haven't been this excited for Eagles for Philadelphia sports for a while, as long maybe since the Phillies. But I'm excited this year. I feel good about it. Make you want to sing a song in the studio.
I know.
But college football is also,
yes.
College.
College,
Temple and Penn State. Shout out to a couple of my high school teammates, Jamil Holbrook, and they're on Temple. Yeah. But good luck this week.
Yeah, I know. And Penn State is ranked second in the nation right now. Clemson just lost to Syracuse.
I feel like Penn State gets rigged every year. Ever since the whole thing that happened, I feel like people just don't respect them. And Saquon, he is a monster. He is something. I wish he'd come to Philly, but that's another story. But he is a monster. But I feel like they don't get the respect they deserve.
Yeah, but real quick, we're going to go back to the Birds now. As what we see with Carson Wentz last week threw for 3 TD passes, had a QBR of 72, QB rating of 110, and he also threw 4 passing touchdowns last week against the 2 weeks ago against the Arizona Cardinals. And I was looking at the MVP ladder right now in the NFC. Now that Rodgers, I'm devastated by the Rodgers injury just because of how amazing he is. But again, due to his injury, now Carson Wentz looks like he can be the man to win NFC MVP. I mean, obviously, the season's still early, but I'm just talking about right here, right now. Carson Wentz looks like one of the best quarterbacks in the league, in my opinion.
I feel like he can win the NFL MVP if they proceed on this road like they had, he has been. He's been throwing. What is his QB rating right now?
I'm double check right now. I'm about to pull up Carson Wentz's stats. Carson Wentz's stats. He has thrown for 1,584 yards, 13 touchdown passes, a QB rating of 99.6, and only has 3 interceptions.
And there's only one quarterback that's ahead of him right now in touchdown passes.
And that's Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, that's and it's amazing. I can't say enough about Carson Wentz. He's a big boy. I seen him here at Eastern a couple weeks ago before the Redskins, actually. And he was
at Eastern?
He was at Eastern. Don't ask me why I was over there, but he was at Eastern. And he had this look in his eye like he's ready to play. He's ready to prove that he's here. He's ready to prove that he's a franchise quarterback. He's ready to prove that he is the real deal. And he has these first games. I mean, only one quarterback ahead of you.
I know.
Throwing for 1,000 yards, and it's like he threw for 300 yards or something last week. It's ridiculous.
And it's just the way how he just moves around the pocket, too. Like, the way how he just spins off of defensive ends and linemen and just...
He's a Rodgers and Brady put together. People might say no, but he's a Rodgers and Brady put together. His mobility is Rodgers, but his IQ and his arm and his toughness is Brady. I've never seen him.
And we're not the only people saying this. Colin, my fault, and a Fox reporter, my fault, I was just thinking in my head. He runs the Herd. He talks about quarterbacks, new up-and-coming quarterbacks, and he recently did a draft grade on each of the quarterbacks. He gave Carson Wentz the highest draft grade out of him, Dak Prescott, Deshaun Watson, and others, just due to Wentz, the way how Wentz is just playing. You give him offensive pieces around him, the way how he leads. Like we saw little instances last year of how he was good without the weapons.
Even Shannon Sharp said it on Undisputed.
Yes.
He said last year it was a blur, but this year I can truly see that Carson Wentz is better than Dak Prescott. Carson Wentz is doing it with an Eagles team that had so many doubters and so many people saying that they were going to be nothing. He has the city of Philadelphia on his back, and he's proven week in and week out this year that he was the better quarterback in that draft. To me.
Yeah, I know.
He has been proving it.
And again, like another one, like Jared Goff is starting to emerge too in his second year, but Carson Wentz looks like the guy that's like the standout in that draft class. So it's just imagine how them Cleveland Brown fans feel. Like this is the last thing I want to talk about before we wrap up this segment.
Shorty say she down and up and flex with all the shooters. Shorty, all you gotta get ahead of all my shooters. I came in